All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. Today, you will need some square tiles. If you do not have any tiles, you can use pen and paper. We will be composing equal groups to make rectangles today. So let's get started. All right, so in the last couple lessons, when we made equal groups with our squares, we had gaps in between them. So today we will be, as we compose these rectangles, we will be making them with no gaps. So everything has to be really close together, no gaps. All right, so if you do have some either cheeses, because that would be like the equivalent of some of these square tiles, or if you're drawing it, I want you to show me 2 equal groups of 10. So like 10 of them will be total. So I would take 10 of these out and we're gonna make 2 equal groups and I'm gonna show you. All right, so once again, we have now made 2 equal groups. We had 10 total, but we split them up into 2 equal groups. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Now, with your 2 equal groups, I want you to organize your tiles or your drawing into 2 equal rows. So knowing that we know that rows go from left to right, I'm going to take my first group and organize them. Notice that I no longer have gaps. These are touching one another. And then I'm going to take the second group and put it directly under it. As you do so, your drawing should look just like this. And I'm going to draw one just so you kind of have an idea of what a drawing may look like if you don't have any manipulatives like these. If you are drawing it, yours will look kind of like this. It's the same thing. So we made 2 rows of 5. And we can demonstrate that by putting in our add-ins. Sorry, got a lot of moving parts. Awesome. Now, like we do always, we can take our add-ins and make a repeated addition sentence to match what we just did. So, 5 plus 5, and that is a doubles fact, which is 10. If we were to remove these little lines, it would make a rectangle. We know that rectangles have 2 short sides and 2 long sides. All right, so we just made a rectangle with no gaps using our square tiles, whether you drew it or had some cheeses or something at home. Now let's make a square. So go ahead once again, get your pencil and paper ready, and let's make a square. This time, I want you to take out 9 square tiles. If you don't have them or you're drawing them, that's totally okay. Let's make 3 groups of 3. Okay, now let's make 3 columns of 3 with no spaces or no gaps. If we make 3 columns of 3, that's 1 column. Remember, columns go up and down. Now I'm going to fix this, of course. Okay. And another one. Okay. If you notice, if I go across in rows, I have 1, 2, 3. And also, if I go down in columns, I have 1, 2, 3. One thing that we know about squares is that all the sides have to be equal. So we have 3 rows and they have 3 in them, but we also have 3 columns of 3. Once again, squares have to be equal on all sides. So since these are equal on all sides, and if you want to go technical, we can put 3 right here and 3 up here. We know that we have a square because all the sides are equal. Now, I don't want to confuse you, so I'm going to erase these. Oh, Lord. If we wanted to make a repeated addition sentence to match, we could just put 2 plus signs in between. And we could sing our 3 song. 3, 6, 9. So 3 columns of 3 is 9. Awesome job, guys. Now, this time, let's see if we can make an array out of 25 square tiles. Now, that may seem like a lot, but I just want to see if you can compose an array that has 25 square tiles total. Feel free to pause this video and see what you can do, and then we're going to check our work together. Go to work. All right, if you are stumped and you have no clue what to do with your 25 tiles, let's talk about it. I know that 25 ends with 5, and we count by 5s a lot in 2nd grade. So I'm pretty sure that we can make an array of 5 tiles in each either row or column. It's up to you. So let's see if we can do groups of 5 and then make arrays out of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 3rd group. That's a 4th group. Oh, and that's a 5th group. And each of our groups has an equal number of tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each of our groups has an equal number, and that equal number is 5. Now, it's up to you if you want to make them into rows or into columns. Go to work. Feel free to pause the video, and I'm going to go ahead and do it myself. What did you notice about our 5 groups? I wonder if you noticed the same thing that I noticed. All right, when I'm looking at these, I see that we have 5 rows. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 5. So we wanted to label our rows. We could put 5 right here. But if you chose to do columns, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We also have 5 columns of 5. And we just learned that if we have the same number of rows and the same number of columns, then we just made a square because squares are equal on all sides. Now, let's put a repeated addition sentence just so we know that we have 25 because that's how many we started out with. We could do it like this, or we can count by 5s. We know that 5 and 5 makes 10, and 10 and 10 makes 20, plus 5 more is 25. Or we can say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We now have a repeated addition sentence that matches our square tiles. All right, before I let you go, I just want to do one quick practice of what your problem set is going to look like. That way I know that you are successful when you do your problem set. So let's do one more. All right, since most of us have been drawing, I'm going to draw with you. So your problem set will look a little bit like this. It'll say construct a rectangle with 3 rows of 2. And then they will want you to write a repeated addition sentence to match. So the first thing I'm going to do is construct a rectangle with 3 rows of 2. So I know that I need to have 3 rows and it needs to have 2 in each row. So I'm just going to draw some squares. So I need 3 rows and it needs to have 2 in them. So 1, 2, 3. We now have our 3 rows and it has 2 in each. Now, as we know, take our add-ins and write a repeated addition sentence to match. 2, 4, 6. And our last one. And as always, feel free to pause the video so that you can do it before I do it. I'm just trying to show you what the work would look like. So construct a rectangle with 3 columns of 2. This time, columns, we're going to go down. So we have 1 column, 2 columns, and 3 columns. And each of our columns has 2 in them. Notice how these 2 look a lot different. These have 3 rows, and this has 3 columns, but we get the same repeated addition sentence. And once again, we get 6. All right, we are at the end of our lesson for today. I hope that you learned something new, or this is just some more practice for you to get familiar with equal groups. As always, I know I say it in every video, but I will upload your practice, and then you will either, a lot of you have been, well, not a lot of you, but some of you have been sending it to me on the portfolio, and so I'll make sure I check there. Or if you are more comfortable with just taking a picture of your work and send it to me through the message, I am totally okay with that. Either way it goes, please do the work and then send it to me. And I will see you all next week for our 3rd week of virtual teaching. Can you believe that we are going on 3 weeks of virtual teaching? That's crazy. And virtual learning. That's crazy. Anyways, have a great weekend. And if you are celebrating Easter, have a great Easter weekend. Bye.